Hi there, let's look at number 27. This is in section 3.1, so homework for Monday night. And they want us to find the absolute extrema of this function, 1 over s minus 2, on the interval, closed interval 0 to 1. Let's double check that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of things. Remember, we talked about this today. We're going to find the critical points. So find the critical points, and they're going to be either where f prime equals 0 or where f prime is undefined. So we'll check those first, and then also we're going to check the endpoints to see if they're bigger or smaller than the critical points, okay? So step one here, let's differentiate this, and you might have an idea what this looks like. You know, I'm guessing it's going to be some kind of a hyperbola with a vertical asymptote at 2, at positive 2. So I think it's probably going to be, you know, something like this. You know, we can verify that. But let's just differentiate it and see if it's got any critical points first off, okay? So this is h of s is s minus 2 to the negative 1 power. So h prime is going to be negative 1 s minus 2 to the negative 2 power. And then the chain rule, the derivative of the inside there is just 1. It's with respect to s. So derivative of s is just 1. So this is going to be, h prime is going to be negative 1 over s minus 2 squared. And we want to say, see if there's any place where that's equal to 0. So we say, you know, how do we make that equal to 0? And I think that's pretty easy to see that we can't make it equal to 0. The denominator is always going to be positive because it's squared. The numerator is just negative 1, so there's no way to make this thing equal to 0. But it may be undefined. So h prime is undefined when the denominator is 0 or s equals 2. So there's a critical point, right? Critical point is when f prime is undefined, and that is when s equals 2. So here's a critical point right here. And we're going between 0 and positive 1. So that's right between here and here. And you can see that in that interval between 0 and positive 1, there are no critical points. Okay? So I thought, gee, you know, there should be a critical point in there, but between 0 and 1, there's not going to be. But we still need to check the endpoints. So let's see, you know, where the minimum occurs and where the maximum occurs. So I'm going to put h of 0 in there. So this is just 1 over negative 2, right? 1 over negative 2, right? Yeah, s is 0. So that's going to be negative a half right here. And then where is the other endpoint? When s equals 1, that's 1 over 1 minus 2. And that'll be at negative 1. So that's going to be, here at this other point, is going to be negative 1. So there's the absolute minimum, or maximum, and here's the absolute minimum. In this case, they're just the endpoints. So the critical point down here turns out not to be a factor, because it's not, the critical point is not within that interval, closed interval. All right, so I hope that makes sense. We'll talk about it tomorrow if it doesn't.